Hello, everybody. It's Aaron Richardson here, your general manager and partner at Century 21 Heritage Group. Over the next few days, up until the 1st of December, I'm going to be sending you very important emails, so please pay attention to them. It's a recap and practicality of implementation of the new TRESA rules. So I want to make sure that we go through, simply put, certain aspects of the Act in practicality, so it makes it a little easier for you to stomach some of the changes. There is some communication that is key in order for you to know how to put together an offer, a listing, et cetera, and dealing with any consumer going forward. So please make sure that you are attending the training. We have done TRESA 1, 2, and 3. Those 3 videos are available on our Excel platform. I'm going to assign that as a learning path to everybody in our brokerage so that you have that at your fingertips at any time with the Excel platform. We're also doing TRESA number 4 tomorrow with Isabel at 1 o'clock, and that is a recap of all 3 of the sections that we've already taught. And then we're going to do these smaller bite-sized videos in order to get some practicality and really sort of see how we're going to be using some of these trained new processes. So first thing is the brochure. It's the most important thing because it's the very first thing that you're going to make sure that you have in your processes moving forward. And that is the Act requires us to hand over this brochure and explain the brochure and answer questions on it to any consumer, anyone we're dealing with regards to real estate. So at your open house, somebody, let's say you're going out for the first time and showing properties to, they called off of an ad, et cetera. We need to provide them with how we act as realtors. So think of things like, for example, your website, your signature in your emails, your business card having a QR code, or just printing this off and handing it over. So there's different ways we can do this. We are looking into technology as ways that we can implement this on your website as well and have them sign off and acknowledge that they have read and seen and have been explained this. Okay, so do this right up front. This is something that is not working with a realtor. Working with a realtor is at the time, it will be done as you have done in the past, possibly at the time of the offer. But working with a realtor confirms that they have been provided this at the earliest opportunity. So this is the brochure. It's 12 pages. I'm not going to go into the details because that is in the training. I just want you to know the first thing you need to do is hand over the brochure. If you can get an acknowledgement at the very end, and we're going to do this digitally as well, just to make it a little easier, but have them acknowledge that they've been provided and explain the brochure. Keep that on your files. It will be mandatory to hand in along with your deal. That's the brochure. Next thing is you're going to be doing buyer reps, seller reps. So listing agreement as well as buyer representation agreement. So I'm going to talk about the buyer representation agreement for a minute here and just say that there is no longer customer service. Okay, so moving forward, they'll just be designated representative and or self-represented and or just a consumer. So when you're going through the brochure or explaining how we can represent people, our brokerage has chosen to have each transaction have a designated representative. So what that means is when you have a buyer representation agreement, there is a new section where it says designated representative, you put your name. That means that you are the agent representing the interest in that transaction. We did this anyway, right? You have that confidential information and negotiation and motivations. That's you. The brokerage provides services such as another agent. A brokerage could do an open house, for example. Okay, this is the buyer representation agreement. Same thing when you go over to the listing agreement. You're going to be putting designated representative. You're going to put your name. That means you're designated as the agent that represents the interest of the seller, and you're the one going to be negotiating the deal. If anybody else gets involved, it could be maybe on a team or something, they also need to be designated if they're negotiating. If they're not negotiating, that's okay. You can provide services such as open houses and showing properties, et cetera, on behalf of the brokerage, and any one of our brokerage representatives can do that as a service. Okay, so that is the big difference right now with representation, is that we're designating our agents as representatives. There will be questions, there will be answers, of course, in our videos that Isabel has done and future training. But know that when you're representing somebody, you've got to provide them with that brochure. You're going to go through the same stuff you went before with regards to all of your services and get people signed to listing and buyer representation, and you're designated. Okay, that's the big change on the forms. And I wanted to show you guys the forms today. Again, I'm not going to show you details on the forms because that is in our training. The next thing I'm going to show you is we have all this in our Google Drive as a clickable link. I'm going to put this also in the clickable link in your email below as well. Okay, so just to review again today, I just wanted to make sure you're handing over the brochure come Friday. You're signing people to the buyer representation agreement and the listing agreements, of course, when you're representing sellers, and you're designating yourself as the representative. Last thing here. Yeah, no, I think I'm done. The customer service, remember, there's no such thing as customer service moving forward. We will go into more details with regards to seller self-represented parties, or like a buyer self-represented, etc. But today, again, just make sure come Friday. And by the way, we will have this all in web forms and in SkySlope. As of Friday morning, we know that we've got the commitment from SkySlope to have everything ready at 8 a.m. Throughout the day, we'll be putting together all of your templates as well. So that means that they'll be all set and ready for you. And just stay tuned to any more mandatory, very important emails from us so that we can go into more detail. Take care.